Mamdani. Back to Mamdani, my favorite, my favorite New Yorker. He opening free supermarkets and they're looted 24 hours later. Yeah, that seems about right. Let's look at it.
New York's mayor
How are you
thinks
going to keep
looters are
people
going to
from
steal his
taking
free
advantage
groceries?
of
Look at
that,
this.
that deal basically? And is there going to be a limit on the number of items that someone can take that are discounted at that level from that essential basket?
So our RFP makes very clear that this is a program for New Yorkers to be able to put food on the table, not a program for people to be able to make a quick buck through reselling. I'm going to pass it over to our EDC head, GPAC, to
So you think if you tell people to not resell that they won't do it? Man. Why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think of just telling people to not cheat? We could have solved all the game design. You mean we could have solved CS:GO years ago if we just told them to stop cheating? Holy fuck.
Well, why doesn't he want to answer? That's weird.
Yes, if you look at our RFP for the operator, we are looking to make sure that we target New Yorkers, whether it be at sort of a library card-esque thing.
A library card.
And also we manage who's buying and
I hope they ask for ID. I hope they ask for photo ID, photo state ID. And then I get to ask, so why are there black people shopping here then? Please, please do it, please. I'm
that is
begging.
focused on everyday New Yorkers.
How are you going to do
So
that?
we are mindful of that. And so we're going to make sure that we have all the things in place to ensure that that does not happen.
Oh, so they're going to have something in place to make sure that only New Yorkers are shopping there. Might be a library card, but don't worry, folks. It won't be ID because in New York, we don't require that to do anything. Watch this.
And we're talking about a city-run grocery store, one in each borough, which, by the way, you do not need an ID to shop at, no matter what you've just heard in the news of today.
Oh, thank
We're talking
God.
about actually
Wow.
addressing the question of skyrocketing grocery
But
prices.
how are you
We've
going to do
seen
that?
In the last, 6 or 7 years alone, an increase in grocery prices of around 30%. And we are
And
going to
then
be
we're gonna
delivering a
do
city-run
it.
grocery store,
And then
one
we're
in each
gonna
borough,
do it,
5 in
and it's
total,
going to
that will
be.
have these staples.
I don't know what that means or what it's gonna take, but we can do it.
Of a shopping
Like, exactly. Dude, this is like leftist with everything. All they have is complaints and no actual solutions to anything.
experience, an essential basket of goods that are discounted by 30%
30%
compared to typical
off.
retail prices.
How are you going to
And
stop
that is
people
something
from
that New Yorkers
shopping
will
there?
be able to feel in their pocket. They'll be able to save hundreds of dollars on an annual basis.
Yeah, and what's gonna happen now is that the government is gonna fuck over all of the small businesses in the area because they are not gonna be able to compete with those kind of prices. And then eventually the government will run all of the stores. Well, I guess if the other stores close down, we have to like get more money so that we can run more of these stores because there's another food desert there that they created, by the way.
Knowing that the
This is the
city is
plan.
looking to actually deliver for them on something that is a non-negotiable in their life.
But you're delivering it for everyone because everyone's
I've also been saying this that if you're starving in America, total skill issue. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. You're lying, basically. Anybody that is actually like, I'm starving and I can't feed my kids in America, you're a skill issue. You're just bad. That's it. You're just bad at the game.
going to be able to shop there. Now, at first, it sounded like there was going to be an ID card. And right away, the regime went into overdrive, making sure that nobody thought you would need ID to get the 30% off from the Mamdani Marts, which means there's no plan in place to stop somebody from driving in from New Jersey or Connecticut or wherever and loading up a truck and taking off to their own store where they resell all that same stuff. And then there's all the people in New York that sell things on the side of the road. Where are they gonna get those products? Are they gonna be getting them cheaper than a distributor would sell them to them?
Yep.
This is why these free stores don't make any sense. There's zero cost to operate the store. They don't pay taxes, they don't pay utilities, they could buy whatever they want and sell it for whatever they want. And now they're gonna sell it to everybody. There's no way this is gonna work. Watch this.
Donnie's city-owned grocery stores, because you're not going to not have an ID. You don't even have to prove that you live in New York, even though it's New York taxpayer-funded grocery
It's
stores.
a handout
So
to
we're going to have a
everyone.
bunch of freeloaders.
Dude, I would totally go there if I If I lived in the area, dude, I'd be
that
there.
wanna come
I'd be
to
there
New
all
York
day.
now
Yep.
Just for all of the food. What could possibly go
Yeah,
wrong?
exactly.
when you
Communism
have
for
people
everyone.
rushing to the grocery store. This is what the mayor had to say about this.
Actually, I take that back. I probably wouldn't because they probably have shit stuff, you know.
This is so wild.
How are you going to keep people from taking advantage of that, that deal, basically?
They did not have an answer. He stepped away from the mic, notice that, and had this woman come up and proclaim that there was going to be a library card in the back.
Literally came out and was like, taunt, taunt.
Flash was
Please
massive.
taunt.
They are making it up as they
I
go
got
along,
aggro.
folks. What they're going to do in New York is they're going to steal from those who are productive and live here, and they're going to give that out to the entire world. Remember, this is a sanctuary city, and the resources of New York are open to the entire world. All you got to do is get here. Doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter what state you live in. We're going to tax the productive and give it to everyone. This place is going to implode so quickly, your head is going to spin. Watch this.
This is a program for New Yorkers to be able to put food on the table, not a program for people to be able to make a quick buck through
that's what they're
reselling.
gonna
We
do.
are looking to make sure that
How?
we target New Yorkers, whether it be at sort of a library card-esque thing, and also we manage who's buying, and that is focused on everyday needs.
Look at their faces. They didn't have any problem with her saying there was going to be some sort of check or balance to make sure only people from New York came here. Look, they're all in agreement. They're all hanging out. And then they said, gee, wait a minute. We're a no
What are we
ID
gonna
state.
do?
We don't need ID to do anything here.
What do you mean, human nature?
They're not having to come to the grocery store.
A library card-esque
Yeah.
card. They're so afraid of saying an
I know.
ID.
They don't wanna say
even
it.
though that's what they're saying, that you're going to have an ID. But they're not going to check where the person is from. They're not going to check what their income is. And so this is going to be the fastest lesson in economics, in math.
Look at those
Oh my god, I can't wait, dude. I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. It's gonna be so good.
bananas.
reality that is ever
It's gonna be fucking economics 101. I can't
hit.
wait.
He's going to.
Oh my
Mamdani
god.
is going to understand economics at the end of this.
No, he's not.
When every bodega owner in the neighborhood who he's trying to undercut by selling stuff 30%
Oh, yeah.
below market value.
Oh, yeah. Every small business in town, those are going to be done because you know what? You can't compete with 30% off. And these stores, they're going to be required to have more than just bananas and oranges in them. There's going to be a core basket of goods that get the heavy discount. But these stores are going to have other things in them. And look at this. They
Oh my
will be
God.
open to everyone. There will be no system to verify identity, residency, or in.
Guys, don't you love them don't you love seeing them corner themselves with their own bullshit? Like they lay all this bullshit out and now they're forced to like play by their own rules. It's like I just love seeing them just corner themselves like little rats.
Income, and
It's
no
so
one will be
peak.
asked to show ID to shop City Hall confirmed. You're going to be paying for the entire world to rob you if you live in New York, and the mayor is totally okay with it. And you know what? Once this whole thing doesn't work out, he's going to say, well, we just need more money. We tried to help all these people,
I just
and
need
it
more
didn't work.
money.
And that's because they're all the rich people.
Because next time we didn't do communism right this time. But next time we're going to do communism the right way.
Left, or they didn't pay enough, or you didn't pay your fair share. We need more taxes.
By selling stuff
Trust.
30% below market value, goes to the store, buys everything, and then sells it for cheaper. I'm sure that's going to be illegal too. So they're going to have to jail people who go and take stuff out of the store
No.
for 30% cheaper and sell
They're not
it
gonna
at
jail
market
anybody.
value. And then they're going to run out of product. And so then they're going to, within the first week, they're going to have to ration all of their grocery stores. So we're going to get
Yep.
to the end stages of the Soviet Union in the first week.
And here's how that's going to happen.
wait.
They're not going to jail people for coming to these places and looting them and clearing them out. In fact, they're going to spin that and they're going to say, wow, we ran out of everything. It looks like the Soviet Union in here. And that's because this place really needs help. We need more free grocery stores. We need even more money because stuff is flying off the shelves and flying out the door and ended up on the sidewalk. Oh, yeah, we're helping so many people.
How much you want to bet that they sell out and they go, guys, we were so successful because we sold everything in the store.
People, we need even more money to do even more of it. Think of how many people we could help if instead of
Oh,
5 grocery
man.
stores, we had 50 or 500. And look at where that's going to lead.
They're going to put bodegas out of business. Out of business. And when they do,
Do it.
you'll have no choice but to go to the government grocery store, which will have shortages.
Accelerate.
And when you do, you will need to get your ID in
Put
order
the
to buy your
pedal to the
groceries
metal.
and your food
Yeah,
desert.
they're going to do something.
It's all going in the same direction. Always is. These people are evil. We're looking to make sure.
No. They're not. They're not just evil. They're retarded. They're like a combination of both. Actually, well, actually, you know what? It's not that they're evil. It's that they're just so retarded that they don't even understand what that means. That's actually the truth. They're too retarded to like understand to emulate other people to even to even be evil.
We target
just
New Yorkers,
retarded.
whether it be a sort of library card-esque thing. We also manage who's buying, and that it is focused on everyday New Yorker.
Now, the interesting thing about that is the people telling us that this is going to be a store for New Yorkers will tell you that someone who came into the country illegally yesterday and is in New York today, living in a luxury hotel shelter today, is also a New Yorker. So their definition of a New Yorker includes everybody by default. That's why they're not going to check and see who's a New Yorker and who isn't, because everybody who finds themselves here is invariably a New Yorker according to these people. That's the plan. It's a plan that makes no sense, but it does make sense when you realize collapse is the real plan.
According to the proposal, the government grocery store operators will create free access cards that will help ensure that New Yorkers are not abusing the program.
Oh, how are they going to do
Shoppers
that?
without a card would not be prohibited from entering the store, but they would not be able to make any purchases without the ID.
Huh, that's weird. But
They say the operator will create a voluntary free-to-access membership card program to monitor sales activity and implement the discount program and any associated demand management measures. The savings card shall not be required for physical access to NYC grocery sites and shall be made easily available to any individual requesting one. Operators will work with NYC EDC to develop appropriate protocols for the collection, storage, and use of personal data shared by membership and card program
yeah, that's going to leak.
Conservative pundits began pointing out the irony of Mamdani's grocery store.
So what is going to happen here? It sounds like they're going to have some sort of loyalty program. They're not going to stop anyone from coming into the store, but they may stop people from getting the 30% off discount if they don't have the loyalty card, which is supposed to be easy to access and available to everybody because everybody's a New Yorker. Got it. What could go wrong?
For ideas, Democrats have forcefully argued against passing legislation that would
Oh my
require
God, how are
ID to
these
vote.
people this dumb?
Democrats have argued voter identification would suppress the votes of many women whose names changed after marriage. It's all a lie. But I don't really care, to be honest, about this argument like, haha, they want an ID to vote, but not to buy groceries.
Yeah, how are they
Hypocrites.
this dumb?
They don't care. They know they're hypocrites.
How's
They
this
know they're
possible?
lying.
Right, and they're lying about this being something that is sustainable. None of this is sustainable. These stores are going to get looted out of oblivion by people taking advantage of them. Everybody that wants to sell vegetables on the sidewalk is going to start doing it. They're going to be doing it 30% off. These stores are going to empty out, and then the city's going to come along and say they need more of them. And this socialist train that
They put everyone out of business, and then now they're like, oh well, now we have to make more of these stores because people are starving. So we need more money so we can make more stores. And now all of the stores are like these stores, and then they're draining the money from the taxpayer. Yep, every time.
is just
Fucking
headed in
commies,
the
am
wrong
I right, guys?
direction, full
Fucking
steam,
commies.
full speed ahead. It's running out of money so fast, the mayor is actually running out of places to find it. Check this out.
Hello, this is Victor Davis Hansen for the Daily Signal. Zoran Mamdani, the mayor of New York, has just stirred up a lot of controversy. He said that he wanted to go after property owners who had homes worth more than $5
and
million,
it's now $1 million.
and they were likely to be second homes.
Yep.
In other words, they
So in other words, where are we gonna pay for this? Let's just steal it. Let's steal more from people that have money. Yeah, let's do that.
He had a primary residence elsewhere, either in the state of New York or outside the state of, or in a foreign country. And he wanted to tax them with a new surcharge in addition to property tax. But then when the letters went out, they didn't just go to the upper middle class or the wealthy who owned $5 million properties. Mamdani went back on his
Yep.
word and sent almost 950,000 letters out to property owners who on their register had a home worth more than $1 million.
Now, $1 million, is that a lot of money? If you have a home that's worth that, yeah, it is, but it's not like having $1 million home 30 years ago. In fact, many people who are working class, middle class New Yorkers may have a home valued in that range, and they're the ones.
For reference, in San Francisco, $1 million house is just a basic ass house. It's not like anything special. It's not nice at all.
Getting these letters, and check this out and tell me if you think any of these people are out on luxury vacations, jetting around the world on private jets. Look at this.
Yeah, Christine, it's damage control for the administration. 17,000 homeowners received letters saying they may be subject to the tax, and now they have until September 18th to contest it. But many are.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't understand people that want to live in cities. Like, what shitholes? Like almost every city is like a huge shithole, and there's like no reason to ever live there. Unless you're already making a lot of money anyway. Like working some kind of like city job, like a finance or something like that.
Upset now, they have to prove essentially
no
where
reason.
they live.
Oh.
So we're here to stand united of the people of Staten Island, the people who love this country, for all of you who've earned your home.
Texas, brand new homes, fiber internet, 160,000.
To say enough is enough.
Staten Island Borough President Vito
Non-connected,
Vasella
like
is
non-connected.
blasting the pied-à-terre tax rollout by the Mamdani administration that's created confusion and anxiety among some homeowners.
I'm getting calls from clients that looked at the roll and they didn't think their market value.
All these idiots in
was,
Texas, dude. Me neither. Me neither. Me neither. Amen, brother.
Qualified them for the tax.
Oh, but Mamdani and the city sure did. That's why they sent out these letters. They sent letters to everybody that might have even been close to hitting a threshold where they could tax them. And now, to not have to pay his taxes, you have to defend yourself. You have to go to the DMV essentially and deal with the DMV Postal Service mentality, which is how this city government operates, and prove that you're immune from the mayor's new taxes and that you're paying your fair share. And look who they're coming after.
An 81-year-old woman on the Upper East Side tells CBS News New York she's lived full-time in her townhouse for 3 decades and has no other residence. Yet she received a letter from the city warning she has until August 21st to prove she's exempt from the new pied-à-terre tax, or she'll owe $56,000.
They're coming after senior citizens for almost $60,000 when they live in their primary residence, which has appreciated over the last 3 decades.
So that they can pay for people to, guys, the reason they're doing this too is so that they can pay for people that will inevitably scam the stores. Dude, like this is so clown. This is like peak retardation.
And now puts them on this hit list, which is what many people are saying this list is, because they didn't just send out 17,000 letters.
Saying they would have to pay the new tax. It's aimed at the wealthy who have second homes valued at $5 million or more, or apartments valued at $1 million or more.
I understand the concerns New Yorkers have,
Oh, yeah,
especially when it comes to a new tax.
Today,
Sure
Mayor
you do.
Mamdani
Oh,
said he's hired 24 additional people to deal with complaints, and
A
he's
complaint
extended
department.
the deadline for people to seek an exemption.
Adding to the confusion is a list of hundreds of thousands of properties, most owned by New Yorkers who live here, published online as the new tax program was rolled out.
Why would you do that? Why would you publish a list of people who you claim aren't paying their fair share or might not be, who they are, and where they live in your city? Like, that is just ridiculous. You don't do something like that if you care about the well-being of
He just doxed every
those people. You're basically marking them. And you got these mobs running all over the streets in New York, the same mobs that are in favor of the free grocery stores and now know where you live, and there weren't enough groceries today.
I hope if you live in New York and you're not a retard, I hope you move out. Because, like, holy fuck,
Hey, but you live over there, huh? Yeah, gee, I wonder what that's going to lead to.
He's had all of these lavish welfare ideas that are not fundable because he's driving out the upper middle class and the wealthy, and they're living in
Again, guys, it's just so easy. all of this you can find out if you just understand human nature. You understand incentive, then you can. This is what I mean, guys. I don't think I'm particularly smart, but these people make me feel like Nikola Tesla every day.
Well,
He's
some
attacking
estimates maybe 11 $11 billion already in real value.
It's crazy.
In revenue. So he needs money.
Yep.
And more importantly, by sending this surtax out on addition to
Goddamn
property
Leonardo
taxes,
da
if
Vinci.
you have a property that's worth $1 million or $2 million, and you're paying $20,000 or $30,000, $40,000 in property taxes, and this
crazy.
surtax comes in 10, 20, 30, a lot of people are saying, you know, I'm not getting that much rent if it is a second
omelette du
home.
fromage.
If it's
That's
their
what I feel
primary
like.
home, they're saying, I already paid this huge property and I have maintenance costs. If you're renting, you have rental costs. You're subject to oversight. There's rental subsidies for your renter. There's rent control. And so what he's trying to do is force people to sell.
And what we heard earlier when Mamdani went out there and he said he's going to fine landlords, he said he was going to take away their buildings if they couldn't pay the fines. And he said he was going to increase the amount of fines and make sure that there were more fines. And the reason they want...
Let me guess, he's gonna make some kind of government housing or just sell it to make more groceries.
Want these people to sell isn't because they're not paying
How much you want to bet that like
their fair
these,
share.
How much you want to bet that these get sold to their own organizations?
Or they're jetting around on these luxury vacations. No, it's because if you own your own home in New York and you don't need the help of the government for anything, you are on this side of the fence and the communists are over here. Right? So you're opposed to the communists, even if you're a Mamdani voter, because you heard he was going to help the little guy and you believed him and you believed that he was going to do it with socialism. You've got people in New York who are waking up, realizing that they are ideological enemies of the mayor, even though they voted for him. This is crazy.
Either sell their second home or he considers them affluent enough that they had their turn and it's time to sell because they will not be able to afford, especially retired people, a surcharge property tax on top of a property
tax.
Like
that 81-year-old woman.
On top of insurance. And if you have a lot of sales, the house price drops. If the house price drops, Mamdani can come in and either buy them for the city or subsidize the, quote, oppressed poor to buy. It's a huge redistribution plan.
What a great way to lower housing prices. Mamdani's gonna come in.
Guys, we need to put all these people in the box, like honestly.
After
he's
he
gonna put them
destroys
in
the
a box.
housing
Like this
market
is
in New York and nobody
this comic shit is just annoying.
wants to live here because crime is through the roof and everyone's getting punished for owning anything. He's gonna say, yeah, before I came in, prices were here.
Dude, we were right to gatekeep the commies like a long time ago. In America, we should have kept doing it. What a mistake.
And I got him down to here.
What a mistake.
I did a good job. I destroyed the market, and now it only costs this much to live here. You know, there's parts of America where you could buy a home for $1. In Detroit, Michigan, you could buy homes that nobody wants. Yeah, let's get the price down there, then we'll really have affordability, won't we? What a thriving place we'll be looking at. Oh, man. Everything about this is a nightmare. But it's all gonna be spun as if it's been the greatest thing since sliced bread. When the sliced bread has been removed from the free grocery store by the people selling it on the sidewalks out in front of the free grocery store that costs the city nothing to operate, the excuse is gonna be, well, it's so popular. There's so many people that need help. We didn't realize the crisis was this bad. We need 50, 500 free grocery stores. And then when they destroy the property values and everything costs nothing because it's all being given away, thrown away, abandoned, they're gonna say, yeah, I fixed the housing market.
Hey, Rex, thank you for the raid.
What do you think about that?
Thanks for the raid, Rex. Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
I'll see you in the next video.
All right.
New York's
Another one
mayor.
from Cash Jordan. Julio will link it. Thank you, Julio. Sorry for me being unable to link right now. I really like Cash Jordan videos. Please give him a like and a sub. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rex. Also, thank you, Huba Andy, for the $10 Rumble rant. The plan of communists to make everyone equally poor. Yes, yes. See, this is the thing, is like with capitalism, people might not be equal, but then everybody's quality of life is better. Whereas with a communist system, everyone's quality of life is garbage, but then everyone is equal, except for a couple people at the top who like maintain their power. Iceman Disco Ball, thank you so much for that 100. Hopefully, there's a class action lawsuit against this office, and we'll have to admit how fucked up this is. I don't know, man. New York is cooked. Jim Lims, thank you so much for the sub, and Rick Tor as well. Oracle Ficate, thank you for the 100. I wouldn't trust the government grocery store, but if Heb wanted my ID, dude, Heb is the greatest grocery store of all time. I miss Heb, dude. I love Heb. Like every time I go to Heb, oh, I always want to be there, man.
So put 'em in the box.